All right, Holy Spirit, so here we are. You speak forth clearly and affirm the truths that I am seeing. And I ask you to confirm the truths that I have been wondering about or unsure about, or up to this point I'm willing to accept and see. Because we're staying in this new place of peace, of abiding in peace. And you were that glue. Like that, yes. You know everything. You see the big picture. You see the minute, every last detail. You know the hearts of the people involved. You're aware of the lies and the deception and the unjust gain from that. I ask your guidance, and I thank you for it. We're just going to swirl these around here. Here is where we're going to begin, right here. Oh, my little feather. Whee! It's all up here. Okay. I see you. The King of Cups is here, as well as the Six of Pentacles. I always feel like she's juggling batteries for a hearing aid, because hearing aids take several batteries. And it's like you're hearing me perfectly loud and clear. And, oh, I like that. That's exciting. The Chariot coming in. This is celebration. Celebration energy. How do we get the blur off of that? We'll end up figuring out this lighting issue here. Is there anything else that wants to speak? I see you. Okay, a couple of things. Four of Cups. Again, that abiding perfect peace. Look at these. What's aware? It's aware. You're aware. It's obvious that you hear me. Obvious that I'm seeking something more than this world offers. And this is the one that's face down, that threw itself at these cards. And that is the Nine of Wands. What is it that makes that way so appealing? The red road, the magenta, the blood, sweat, and tears. Because the knees look kind of buckled, like it's going to be taxing. And because there's no dimension to it, it's really just same, more of the same. So what if we choose a different direction? A new knowledge, a new illumination. So I'm going to keep it laying at the feet. Princess of Cups is here. It's like that's a crystal ball almost. She's stirring to unite heaven and earth. Okay, so let's put that over there. So my left, your right. That's the ball that's first illuminating. As it's like moving back from action more into the element of balance, pulling back some of the action, some of the do, and getting back more into the who. Okay, King of Cups begins to lift his cups there so that you can see how much you really are loved, who and what you're really dealing with here, male or female. King of Cups. Because this is not a seated throne. It could have to do with people who promise a lot, deliver little. So it's no longer doing the work of others to make dreams come true. Okay? It's not your job. I see the split. So at the split, we have the Seven of Cups, the High Priestess. Let's just go with this. We're going to take top, bottom. Empress energy here. We're going to take bottom, top. So top, bottom, and then bottom, top. Okay. Well, Princess of Cups, how do I do this? We're just going to put her over here for a moment. The Emperor, the High Priestess. The Emperor versus the High Priestess, the Devil, and the Seven of Cups. When I hear the Devil and the Seven of Cups, I hear damned if you do, damned if you don't. And this one is more about being showered with love, being true in the heart, being rewarded for being a person of character. They're saying character is key. Okay. So I know first and foremost, it always comes back to the self, but there is more here. That is this old of what we've been dealing with, all right? And that meant to go. So we knew about, oh, there's an old troll there. There's an old troll there. Okay. So this can go back a period of years. We're talking 7 years. And you can leave it there and move on. There is no struggle, no more struggle. And some of it was spoken over you. And not like, oh, I'm going to follow the path of what they said because that's who I... No. There is an effect of when words are spoken over you, whether you hear them or not, or to your face, which could mean a spell or a curse, right, as well. That can really have an impact on your joy, is what it's showing me, on your progress. And progress meaning the connection, the true connection to yourself, that what you put out into this world is what you receive back. There was an interrupter. An interceptor. So how do we clear this interceptor? It's almost like there's a shooting star of, oh, I need to be better than you. Somebody who is very insecure, especially with the way they look, with their body image, with their self, that's been haggling for your true established security. This is what this sword is here. The knowledge of who you are and the empowerment that that brings, that being one who knows thyself has to harm no one, takes from no one, and offers thyself to life, to the benefit, okay? This is a benefactor here. And we're looking to get connected to that because there's that Four of Cups. So, wanting to know how... to connect to that blessing, to the shade, to the covering, to the energy dynamics that are the essence of life. Yeah. With that, Jackalope's ears perk up. And it's more like, oh, wait. So I love it because shaking the death from the life here. There was like a death curse on it, a death wish on it. Yours or otherwise. I don't know. It's to be seen, okay? But there was a death wish on your life. And because the Emperor has a lot to do with the head, and you can see that there's just a skull. There's like this visage put in front of you that is hindering and hampering your progress, because as we know, a jackalope, boom, 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 there they go. Or where did they go? You know, someone who's happily moving about, okay? Doesn't have to sit and bide through the storm. That can go and take cover. But it was like you were stranded. Almost like your retreat, your home was filled up with rocks and dirt and trickery, kind of like the Brer Rabbit type of thing. Or the gingerbread man. I am the gingerbread man. Where he tricks people into getting what he wants out of the relationship, but leaves everybody else foot in the bill. Leaves everybody else scrambling and wondering. Leaves everybody else high and dry. Okay? So, oh, that's interesting. I just now noticed they're both here. So this little thing, get that thing out of the way and you'll begin to see your true options. Now, for some of you, this could be the Taurus North Node, Scorpio South Node that's been going on, because that's very Taurian energy. And it is the Death Star. Okay, so that is, it's already waning out, but it has been thrashing about going, well, I will show you, I will prove you, I will pay you back. I'm going to this and I'm going to that. And it may be silent. And it's all like, like these smug, very childish. Okay, immoral, immature, unexcusable. That's what it really is. But the stars, I love that because that's coming under this Four of Cups over here. The stars are conspiring, providing. You see that love coming down, and you see it's not options. You don't have to choose, friend. Because when you follow your heart, you are fulfilled. You are fulfilled. That almost makes the stars come out and come alive for you and awaken all of your dreams. Not almost, it does. Your dreams and your dreamers. It is the ignition, the key. Okay, thus the key, the ignition key. Go, bye-bye. Okay, so it's interesting because on these side flanks over here, we have the Empress and the Three of Wands. And I've shown the other night that the Three of Wands is coming in, not just ships coming in, because you can see that. And these ships are more than just items and things, because once we like harvest something and cut it off, that's limited, right? This is more like the fruit trees versus just the fruit. And it's not saying you have to pick it, you have to feed it, you have to anything. No, it's the gift of the fruit tree. It's the gift of childlike wonder of like, wow, the whole big picture. All in one, nothing removed, nothing separated, no question, no doubt, no wondering, no worry, no trickery, thuggery. And that's the magic here, is it's relationships too with whole people, as opposed to people who just have little tricks, little magicians. It's a lot bigger than that. They've told me that there's something so much bigger than the tarot. It is limited. That's why it begins with the Fool. And there's a fool unto life and a fool unto death. But when we graduate from Life University, what is that? It's very much what this channel is about, is teaching us about ourselves, to begin to feel confident and comfortable listening to our own voice, getting back into our center, just like the center of our eye, because that is where we see and where we perceive. And we can see how perception has been impacting that. And that is your guidance system, friend. Right? That's why we want to be in the center of ourself, where our peace is. That knowingness can come down and dwell with us. And it removes all question and doubt. Therefore, we not only feel safe and secure, we feel natural listening and dialoguing with ourself. That doesn't have to be like the reading the other day where our self has to keep trying to get our attention so that we don't have to be bent over in protection so much that we miss the incoming opportunities. Okay. So let's get into affirmatives. Ooh, who's at the bottom? Look at that lovely love lizard. And if you live in the area where I live, it is warming up and abounding. And we call it Jurassic Park here, because literally, if you've ever known the squirrel syndrome, like you're driving along on a little lazy avenue and the squirrel starts coming out and it sees you. It's like, wait, what? Do I go this way? Do I go that way? And then finally, it's just like a narrow escape. And that's what she's like, woo, that is right. We are free from that. The question, the doubt, remember, that's what's coming in with this Princess of Cups. That's what's coming in with this Three of Wands, these healthy shifts, starting with a healthy whole relationship with yourself. But the lizards here will do the same thing all over the sidewalks. And this is a intertwined community of condos. And so you can be walking about, lizard, and they stutter stop in front of you. And you're like, whoa, wait. And it just creates a lot of pandemonium. Okay. I love it. Oh, Six of Wands is back to see us today. And he's like, boom, boom, psh. All right. So moving on from pandemonium, getting out of the opposition and the chaos, because I love that the Queen of Swords showed up yesterday to become our chariot so that we don't have to get in agreement with anything or anyone. We simply get into ourselves, our agreement of ourselves, our knowledge of ourselves, our remembrance of ourselves, our love of ourselves, okay? And then we don't have to keep doing the phoenix, like, oh, look how tough I am. I can die and resurrect. Because you know what? That's what we've been taught. Just like we were taught hard was noble and honorable. Well, they call it a little bit of more like a child instead of a adult. Being in charge of your own life. You don't need anyone to shelter you, to feed you, to answer your cries, to determine and decipher what they are. They're talking about top, bottom. Okay, so we'll do that, top, bottom. Because when you do that, you leave it up to someone else's interpretation. And that changes everything. Your stars, your desires are here for your interpretation, thus your expression into this world. That's the creatorship that you are, to grace our world with your beauty and your life, with the joy of discovering who you are and experiencing who you are. This life is meant to be an experience, not to gain experience, to be an experience. Okay? So let's take a look at these couple layers. I think this is really dealing with this. These words spoken, this magic, this spell, this, stupor? The stupor? Look at that. It's the sense of judgment and being judged. Weighing things out, good, bad, right, wrong, whatever. When there's this narrow space, because there's this fulcrum that holds a scale. Just like I have a Libra sun, and you talk about how I was married to a Libra once too. And they can often have this experience of feeling like you and you and you and this and that, whatever, the person across from them is changing their balance or making them want to go get high or causing them to feel sad or needing to go this or that. I mean, it could be anything. It could be, going for 50,000 walks a day. I don't know. But it's beyond that. It's like, no, let's liberate you from that compulsiveness of feeling like there's anything outside of you. Because see, just like this Chariot and just like Queen of Swords yesterday, this is your life, friend. And so when things begin to feel off or awkward or weird or whatever, that's your first sign that something has happened around the headspace. We can claim it as our thoughts, although I wouldn't advise it. We need to be aware that some things that we consider our thoughts, our thinking, our feelings, our whatever, is actually the environment around us. I'm not just talking people. We walk through air. And now that there's technology, broadcasting and broadbanding, those layers of communication, those lasers of communication from satellites and phones and whatever else are literally passing through the air. So that's some goop that we literally have to clean out. It's like we need one of those filtration systems like planes have where it's doing an air exchange regularly. So we just do that air exchange and we go, okay, how do I feel about this? How do I come back into ease? Do I feel like doing this really right now? I know it's something I want to get to, but sometimes we hush it and scoop it under the rug, or we rush it. Okay, King of Cups is like, word up on that, girl. Serve it. And I'm like, I'm serving it to myself first, King. Okay, thank you. And High Priestess is just here at rest, saying, do it brings you peace. When it brings you peace. That's why we're not supposed to master this life in the way we think. We are supposed to become a master, which means we get into the center of our experience. Master. 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 Where are all the other people? Where are the things, the people, the places, the stuff goings on? Know thyself. Know thyself. Remember that confidence? Because it's not becoming a crafted great vessel of this one size fits all. Because if we did, music would be one note. Or this is a song, hello, everything keeps changing. Life is an experience, right? And what you enjoy today may be different than what you enjoy tomorrow. Like when blueberry season is in, it is blueberry time. And when it's strawberry season, strawberries are delicious. Why? Because it is their season. It is when they're ripe and when they're unctuous and life wants to evoke a judgment. It's like we dropping all that. The sun is shining. It's turned into the sun card because it's lighting up going, yes, that is what we want. The fullness of this experience, this preeminent experience, this intelligent crafting of our experience, not just through what we can make happen, but through our awareness of what is going on inside of us and around us. And how do we connect with it? And that connection, my friend, I would dare suggest here, be radical. Make it a connection of peace. Because it's one that when it feels natural and healthy for you. There you go. But when it begins to cross the lines, or even like your plate when you're done with eating, you're done. You see what I'm saying? Now, this may take a moment, and that's the good part about it, because I'm not selling you anything or trying to convince you of anything or alter who you are. And this is your nature, and your nature, your soul, your spirit, your life will begin to convert these words into something that is resonant with who you are, that actually fits your grade of life, right? That's why I talk about us being the whole crayon box, because your favorite color may not be my favorite color, but color is color, right? We're all human. We all bleed red, okay? Or at least I think we do. I'm just saying. All right, so under the judgment, let's jump on in here since it turned into the sun, which is quite interesting because we have the moon. We have the moon showing up, and as we know, this deck is the deck of the night. She created it during the pandemic to begin to explore what gifts and what beauties, what treasures we could find there. So moon and this new moving the old dead mindset out of the way, getting out of the nodes, getting into our sun, which is the healed Chiron, so that there are no more wounds and woundings. It's living from an experience, letting life be an experience, because it's so much more than categorizing things, because when we do, we can miss the thrust of it. We can miss the seed. Like you could get totally pissed if you were in, I don't know, first grade, and 20 children are lined up at the front, and the teacher came up and said, I want to give everybody a gift, a treat. And apple, going down the line to everybody, pulling out of her bag, apple, and say your last name began with a Z, right? So you're down here at the end. And all of a sudden, the teacher reaches in, and you see her fiddling with the bag, or him, fiddling with the bag. And they look down in there, and they're like moving around, and you're like, doesn't she know how many students she has? What's going on? You look down the line and see everybody else has apples, and they're already eating, and they're all smiling. They're talking and showing it to each other, and you're engaging with this bag in the teacher's hands. And the next thing you know, you think she's worried that there's not an apple in there. You don't know her mind, his mind, okay? They're looking around, and you see them fiddling, scraping, and you're wondering, are you just going to get that dust out of the bottom of the bag? And up come these little brown things, okay? These little nothings. But let me tell you, friend, there's some things. They place them in your hand. There are 4 of them, 5 of them. And you look down at it, you look up at the teacher, and you look at everybody else, and you look in your own heart. And if you're looking like this, being shaded and colored by experiences, or maybe this was your first experience of a letdown or a perceived letdown, a bad, right? And she tells everybody, she tells everybody to go back to their desk, and class resumes. So now elementary school, you stay with the same teacher all day, right? And it comes towards the end of the day, and they let class out a few minutes early, okay? Everybody goes to get their bags and begin to line up at the door. And the teacher calls you over and says, I notice your face since I gave you my gift. Why these things touch me out? This is who I am, is my channel, so I can do it. And your lip goes out and your face goes down. You're like, yeah. And they're like, you think I don't love you, right? And you're like, yeah. You're like, you think I forgot that you're a part of my class? Yeah. You think that nothing good happens to you because you're always at the end of the line because your name begins with a Z? Yeah. And the teacher says, come a little closer. And he'll tell you a secret. I don't want anyone else to hear. So you scooch in because you're still young enough that you're like, okay. And the teacher says, and opens your hand, my child, those are seeds of the apple. And they're the most important, precious part. Mankind longs to get the fruit. And to get the fruit, someone has to give it to you. But I gave you the root, so that in your life you can have anything and everything your heart desires. Now you go and you plant those seeds when you're ready to see the mighty apple tree that comes from them. And you'll realize I've given you more than one apple. I've given you a lifetime of apples and anything you could dream up to come from those apples. sell them, applesauce, apple jam, whatever you like, apple pie. And you lift your heart up and you look with this new look on your face. And you realize at that moment that that teacher loved you in a different way because they trusted your heart to be able to receive it. They taught you how to think. And they began to ripple the world of how to feel. Because what was felt one way because of how we're trained to think and believe in this world by experience of what is good and bad and such and so. And they interjected another way. So if you care, you can go look back at yesterday's video or whenever you come upon this, and it's the one right before it. And it says time to move on, and the title's called There Is Another Way. So I'm going to leave it with that, even though the Seven of Cups is here reiterating it. So enjoy them all. They're all one. They're all one. All part of this beautiful experience. And nothing's being withheld from you. It's about what you're enjoying right now. Don't set your eyes too far. We're going to miss what you're experiencing right now. Okay? I love you. Thank you.